authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us. From personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation.
The majority of the people, because you like to use a blanket statement. That's like me saying all white.
Well, have you said all white people? Talking because it's easy to say all black people are stupid as an example. Say something about the white people.
No. You're not. I don't think you got. Oh, I hear you. Can you tell me? Because I don't know. Liberal white women literally being the biggest enemy of the United States of America. That's the thing I say every single day.
Caucasian female, the biggest enemy.
Literally, white liberal women are the worst thing that ever happened to this country.
What about their men?
Anton, at first, he was on the thumbnail. And I was like, oh, damn. Now, I'm going to be honest, right? I don't particularly too much care for Anton for reasons such as, he talks real reckless and disrespectful to women panelists for absolutely no warranted reason. He had a girl on his panel named Jazz, right? Very beautiful, well-to-do, successful Black woman. His panels and shares her ideology about her experiences and things like that, understanding about just the culture, Black women, relationships, so on and so forth. And one day he called her a whore because she wasn't married, and said that she was less of a woman, which made her a whore because she was sleeping with men without a contractual marriage, right? And so it turned me off from Anton, so I haven't been watching. So I saw him on Corey Holcomb. Now, I've been watching Corey Holcomb for a long time. He's a very funny comedian in Chicago that is based out of LA. And so he got me about a year ago watching his comedy. So I got official 10 years ago. Started watching YouTube. Corey Holcomb was one of the first celebrity YouTubers that I started watching. So they got into it like a big blowout, crash out over words, being exchanged on the 5150 show. So let's get right on into it, y'all. Let me pull it on up here, share my screen. I'm not going to go over the entire show because it's already been done 100 times up here. This has gone viral, but I had to bring it up on Give Grace a Crash Out Waist because it fit perfectly with that topic, right? So let's get into it. I want to go to where they got into it. About what they were talking about. Okay. So the timestamps are down here. However, they're not labeled. So work with me on finding it. It's like right before he got up and got in Anton's face. Okay. Everybody is spilling this tea. It was one of, the biggest crash outs of the year to start. Celebrity, comedian, YouTuber, Corey Holcomb, and YouTuber Anton Daniels. Okay.
You big bro.
Okay, so let me say this since you brought up Darlene and Craig. let me say this. You don't know our relationship.
Okay, I'm too far. Let me back up.
To have a conversation.
We good.
All right.
We good.
I'm in the blackest city in the United States of America. I can move anywhere I want to.
So we're just gonna start it here. This is where Anton started talking about. I'm from Detroit. This is how I know it to go down and for this and that to be. So we are in our latter years. I'm from somewhere is usually a smaller, or not smaller, younger person's rhetoric. However, some of us don't really grow up in certain areas. So you could tell that, yes, however, Anton is very vexed on political, on some cultural, on some relationship topics. When it comes to really like understanding rhetoric between people, where it's not, cross the line or get into disrespecting boundaries, you just saw he fell flat.
Go. I choose to stay in the core of my city, and I choose to participate in my neighborhood. I choose to tithe to the streets. I choose to put kids through college. I choose to interact and truly use my tax dollars and whatever it is and give jobs. I employ over 50.
So what I saw, okay, let me go back, okay, because I'm kind of all over the place and I want to stay focused on the core speaking points, right? They were talking about a lot of political stuff. Now, Corey understands a lot of political standpoints from a street view. He's not somewhere where he's in the actual, understanding of research and knowledge. Like you can tell he doesn't really like listen to the political debates too much, like, knowing their talking points and their standpoints from like a Democratic, Republican, conservative, liberal view. Okay. He is speaking from a man that is getting his understanding from a street point of view, right? So Anton led with that. And like he told Corey, he studied Corey, so he already knew that. I already knew coming in that more than likely Anton had an agenda, probably to go Corey Holcomb into, getting into something heated, because that's not hard to do with Corey if you dance on the line of pushing his buttons, okay?
People. I put my community with my people. So I choose to engage. So when we talking about being in the streets, that don't count to me. I don't hear
that's
that
what
shit.
should count.
I don't hear that shit.
Out there in the streets where the people live to helping, they could get pulled over and shot by a cop, and an investigation will be said. But here's the truth. We know, if I believe you know this already, when the cops shoot, nothing you can do about it.
Insane.
Is that what I said? When the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it. Is that a lie?
This is so insane.
Answer it.
Like my question.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer your question. It depends on circumstance. And the thing about it is this: the majority of the people, because you like to use a blanket statement. That's like me saying all white people.
Well, have you said all white people?
I'm talking about
because
cops.
It's easy to say all black people are stupid as an example. Say something about the white people.
No. You're not.
I don't think you got.
Oh,
I hear you. Can you tell me? Because I don't
about
know.
Liberal white women literally being the biggest enemy of the United States of America. That's the thing I say every single day.
Caucasian female, the biggest enemy.
Literally, white liberal women are the worst thing that ever happened to this country.
What about their men?
But we gonna get there, because you keep trying to get me to qualify it by participating. And
so, okay, we know that Corey, right, does have an understanding of who Anton. Apparently, behind the scenes, they have been working to bring this somewhere to a place like this, I think they may have had to sit down in some capacity before as well, where they've spoke on viewpoints of certain situations. So Corey has a understanding, which a lot of Black people do, about Anton Daniel, and that would be he is a Black man that has a white understanding of life he's living. Okay, that somewhere he checked out of his Blackness, being an African American man or Nigerian. I don't know. I don't know anything about this Nigerian stuff. I got wind of that from watching Single by Choices, and they were saying, shout out to Walker Gavin and Ebony Dean, hello, that he was from Nigeria or had some Nigerian DNA from father somewhere like that. Okay, I don't know. I thought that Anton was an African American Black man. However, Anton went on to say during this interview with Corey Holcomb on the 5150 show that he was not a Black man, that he in fact was a Christian man. Okay, a Christian is a religion that was formed in the United States by white people. So nonetheless, because after starting out when religions were being formed around the turn of the century, where we became more woke and religion started being formed, there were Christians and Baptists, and Black people were mostly Baptists because my family is Baptist, right? On my mother's side, my father's side Christian. So nonetheless, a lot of Black people have a understanding that they've came up with for themselves about Anton, that Anton is a Black man that lives and believes that he moves and operates in a white state of privilege. Okay.
Joining in on the court.
No, I think you're doing what's easy.
No. I'm doing what's real.
I think you don't want to go against them, because if you go against them, it'll be some video of you going against them. And when I say them, I'm talking about your boss.
I don't have a boss.
We say that.
So Anton here says he doesn't have a boss. Now, Anton is, from my understanding, he did some time in college. I think maybe for engineering, he was saying it didn't work out. He went in a warehouse job, didn't really fit well with his, makeup. I think he went into corporate somewhere in America, not too, sure I understand exactly where. However, I know that's what he said when I used to watch him in their morning show. Okay. And then got on YouTube. So from my complete understanding, Anton is like a famous YouTuber. Okay. So YouTube is a free platform that you can operate freely in almost any capacity and area that you want. You can talk about whatever you want. You can damn near do anything you want on YouTube, and you can make an income from it, right? However, YouTube is owned and operated by, let me look that up. Let me see who owns and operates YouTube. I don't know if it's Mark Zuckerberg that operates and owns Facebook, is it? But let's ask Google. Who owns YouTube? And we'll find out. So YouTube is owned by Google LLC, which in turn is a subsidiary of its ultimate parent company, Alphabet Inc., a publicly traded technology conglomerate. Google acquired YouTube in 2006 for $1.65 billion, and it operates as a key part of Alphabet's Google services. Okay, so the founder was Chad Hurley in 2005, Steve Chen and Jawed Karim, and then Google purchased YouTube in 2006. So whoever owns Google, let me see who owns Google. 1 second. Who owns Google? Okay. Sorry, guys, I have a cold. owns Google LLC? Okay, so primarily, it has like a lot of shareholders, institutional investors like Vanguard, BlackRock.
Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay dipping.